you'll lose your job. Or you'll get kicked off of X. Tesla will kick you off. He's got Larry Fink investing in him and Larry Ellison investing in him. So, okay, he's got freedom of speech for a little while.
Yeah, have you followed these recent developments with Elon? He visited the Auschwitz memorial. What do you make of that, him going
He
over
got to do
there?
teshuva, okay? He let some anti-Semitic posts come on. Now he's got to do teshuva. Who forced him into it? His investors. Do you think he bought that X Twitter by himself? This is where I just have to just lose my patience because I just see these things because I grew up in it.
Right.
You buy it? He's going to buy 40 billion? Where does he get 40 billion? He's not the richest man in the world. Probably his investors are the richest men in the world, but they're behind the scenes. Larry Ellison, he owns Oracle, and his son. Who else? The Weinberg family, who really owns Goldman Sachs. Those are the richest people in the world. And if they're not rich enough, all they have to do is make a book entry, and it's legal, and tell the printers, print some more money. And nobody knows where it's going to. Do you think William Burns knows where the money is going to? He don't have a clue. He's the head of the CIA. He don't know.
What do you make about this idea? Because I know that we touched on Putin a little bit here and there and talked about some of these neocons and their plans. And you mentioned this autonomous zone for Jews in Russia. What do you make of the hostility against Russia by the Jews? Because I've heard, a lot of people ask me, and I have different ways of answering. Some people say it's because Russia is this bastion of Christianity and European civilization and that sort of thing. Other people say there's a historical reason that Jews were segregated and discriminated against in Russia 100 years ago. And, these guys like Shapiro are descended from Russian Jews. So what do you make of the Jewish neocon hatred of Russia in particular, kind of singling them out?
Well, Alexander Solzhenitsyn wrote a book about it, 200 Years Together. He told about the insurrectionists that killed the Tsar Alexander, Nicholas's father. Okay, so there are always victims? No. They're perpetrators. Are Gentiles born with this inbred hatred? Is your rational hatred? No. Maybe they bring it upon themselves. Huh? And people are beginning to notice that, yeah. Now, here's an example of the symphony of church and state. This is an Orthodox Christian model. That it wasn't union of church and state, it was called symphony of church and state, that the church informs the government of morals, of social values, of family, of teaching the Bible, teaching church tradition. The government, on the other hand, through the military, is going to protect the church and the interests of the church. And it has to go out into other areas, like in the Turkish wars in the 1800s, to protect the Orthodox Church. Yes, the government will do that. So this is what Putin, actually, it was Yeltsin who started setting it up. He gets the credit, really. Boris Yeltsin, the great hero of the West, he's the one that set this up. Boris Yeltsin, okay? They want to call him a drunk. He set it up. This symphony of church and state. So what you have, whenever Putin gives a public speech at the Kremlin, and everyone's invited, the heads of states, the leaders of the country, because it's a multiracial, multi-creedal country that Putin inherited from the imperial czars. That's just reality. He has the patriarch of all Russia. It was Alexei, and now it's Kirill, who I'm under, sitting in the front row next to Medvedev. Oh, there's a religious figure in the front row. Oh, yeah. Who's in the 13th row? The chief rabbi. He don't like that. Well, that's tough shit. Excuse the expression, but that word works. Tough shit, man. You're going to be in the 13th row because Russia's an Orthodox Christian nation. And Putin told Tucker that. Okay? Many times. We're an Orthodox, and it's deep in our consciousness of the Russian people. So now the chief rabbi, I forget his name. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He looks hideous anyways. He was upset. Oh, Russia's invading Ukraine. Ukraine is run by Jews. It's not just Zelensky. It's Kolomoisky, who who propped up the comedian, who plays the piano with his penis. Okay, he propped them up totally. All right, and the whole government is run by Jews. So the chief rabbi says, "Oh, Russia's the aggressor." No, he won't even come anymore. You think Putin cares? So don't come. You don't care. It's like Putin calls you a son of a bitch. I don't care. I can still work with him. You see, and this is me too. Henry Ford Sr. said, never complain, never explain. Just do your job.
I think that's really the big issue they have is, to me, Putin really resembles like the new czar, in the sense that it's a new Caesar, a new leader in the Christian world, but from a political point of view, someone who's asserting Christianity in politics.
At home, and from a religious point of view, he's helping build churches, and he's helping build families. If you have a family of 3, he starts subsidizing you. And the more kids you have, the more you're going to get help. Because he understands that the woke thing and cutting children's penis off and changing their ain't good for the future of a country. It's bad for the future of a country. So religiously, he's trying to develop the country for the future. He sees ahead, not just for the moment, like what's happening in America. So he's doing that religiously. Politically, he sees himself, because my bishop, when he went to Russia back 10 years ago and was sitting at the concert, he also sent me a photograph of Putin sitting right before the Tsar Nicholas. I have this picture. No one else does, because he sees himself in the role of the Tsar to protect the church. Now, people say, oh, you're a Putin lover. Putin's an assassin. Putin poisoned the CIA agent Navalny, whatever they want to say, okay? And I don't give a damn. I don't care what they say. Oh, the Russian Orthodox Church is just a front. I don't give a damn. I'll still go to the Russian Orthodox. I don't give a damn what they say. So what I say back, okay, fine. You're so concerned about Putin. Go to the grocery store. See how much you're paying for eggs. See if you're paying more today than you did last year. You like ground beef? You like hamburgers? Mark down what you're paying for ground beef. Do you remember what you paid 2 years ago? What the hell does Putin have to do with that? Deal with your own issues and don't worry about Putin. But this is the problem. Oh, AI's got the Schwarzes and blacks. What happened to the whites? They're hurting the whites. I don't go there. This is not what we have to deal with. We have to deal with more serious issues, the issues that count, not Gemini. Okay? Now, I'll let you in on a secret, okay, about the Russian Orthodox Church and about Putin, okay? And people can't see the whole picture. Do you know that there's pipelines still going through Ukraine from Gazprom into Europe? That hasn't changed. No sanctions have changed that. So everyone says, oh, Putin's going to blow it up. He's not going to blow up the pipelines. Plus, there are Russian people there throughout Ukraine. He cares about them. They're his people. Ukraine has always been part. It was called Little Russia. Tchaikovsky wrote a symphony about it called Little Russia. It's about Ukraine. So let's see the bigger picture, people, and let's not narrow down on things that please the internet sensationalist crowd. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, they've been doing that stuff for years. I remember years ago when Siri came out, people were filming themselves saying, hey Siri, who's the president? If it didn't say Trump, they'd be posting that kind of stuff. It's pretty low IQ, but... Okay,
well, Trump, he's a friend of Putin. Give me a break. He put more sanctions on Russia than anybody.
Yeah,
so he says, Putin says Biden's predictable. Well, Trump's unpredictable. You can't trust the man. He's going to drain the swamp. He said that the first time, I'm going to drain the swamp. Well, the swamp was all in the White House from the first day on.
Yeah.
He appointed the swamp. So he's saying the same thing again. Yeah, once burnt, twice shy. Plus, he's totally in the system. The guy he appointed as economic advisor is Wilbur Ross. He's a Rothschild man. They can take his loans and whatever percent interest rate it's at now, they give him 18%. They'll rise to 34%. That's what they did to Henry Ford Sr. They'll ruin him. He ain't going to say in the Fed.
And so is that what you make of Trump? Are you, in 2024, I saw on your Twitter you're not supporting Trump. Do you think that it's completely arbitrary whether it's Biden or Trump, or do you pull one for one more than the other?
It's either rigged at the ballot box or rigged from the White House. We lose. Both ways we lose. So now, let's say Goldman Sachs and Jamie Dimon, they're the big boys, and Warburg Pincus. It's really not the Rothschilds anymore. They're not running the political realm anymore. They're not. They got their big customers and all in the trillions, but the ones who are doing the political things are Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock, Larry Fink, and Tribe, because they're all hooked on together. They're part of the global system. They're part of the counterfeit money. They are. Because Larry Fink, he imbibes in it. He's one of the boys. Gates is not. He's a guy. He's not in it. Warren Buffett, another useful guy. So what you have here is it's either going to be rigged at the ballot box or rigged with some new pandemic or rigged in the White House. They'll give Trump a little rope. Oh, Trump's in. We're free again. The border. Oh, so we'll put some wire on, electrify it. Well, what the hell's that going to do? They're already here. It's over. And he's the one that let it happen. He did. He was relying on Pence to take these delegates' votes and to send them back to the states. You rely on a man that can't smile? Pence can't smile. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
It's possible for that man to smile. He's hiding something. A man that can't smile is hiding something. Now, I'm a person that studies human physiognomy. I had to. I was a straight commission salesman for 25 years. It comes like that to me, okay? I can pick up a guy's vibes immediately, just by his body motions, his looks, his face. I've never seen a genuine smile from Trump. It comes from the heart. It's all an act. Hey, he points. I've never seen a real genuine smile. I haven't. Now, I met a guy once. I was upgraded on United Airlines. I travel a lot for my street evangelism. I hope to cross throughout the country. That's my ministry on median strips. And I get bumped up to first class, and a very well-dressed guy sitting next to me, and it's right before the elections, the last election, not 2020, the election before that. He says, what do you think of Trump? Oh, I like him. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. He says, well, we consider him, we look upon him with contempt. I said, we? Who's we? He says, I own a big construction business, and I'm now going to plant Planet Fitness buildings throughout the United States. That's where I'm headed here, headed there. That's going to be my franchise. I build big buildings. So, he says, so we hold them in contempt. Yeah, the people who run the construction, big people, CEOs, construction. I said, why? He says, he stiffed a lot of people. He doesn't pay contractors. So we have our electrician or a plumber or HVAC guy, and he stiffs them. And then he says, okay, I'll pay you, covers their costs or something. They're not going to make a profit. And they make them sign a non-disclosure agreement. This is a man that doesn't have principles. Why won't he stand up for Julian Assange? He's not a man of principle. Plus, he's totally hooked into global finance. They got him.
So you don't trust him. You think he's with the owes the Jews in finance ultimately because they lend to him.
Oh, Bernie Marcus just came on as a big supporter. Bernie Marcus behind DeSantis, a total lover. And so now he's going to make Trump he'll make it even him a greater Jew lover. Make Trump a greater Jew lover. So you're going to hear all kind of things about Israel and kill Hamas and their terrorists and all that crap.
Yeah. So 2024, you're not. Well, it would be fair to say then that you've lost faith in the political process, or maybe never had it.
Let him build a wire on the southern border. What the hell's that going to do?
Right.
Let him give us a little more freedom. For what? I don't know. But they'll give him a little rope for a while, like they did with Elon Musk. Okay, we'll let you have some free speech. And then I've been flagged 3 times already in 2 months. I just told him as a kid in the 50s, we never heard the word Holocaust. Never heard it. Never heard the word gas chambers. Never heard the word 6 million. Never heard the word concentration camps. Never heard death camps. All we heard was work camps. They flagged me. Right? So I said to my bishop, I said, at 6 years old, kid, I was doing hate speech and didn't know it.
So was everybody, yeah, because that kind of stuff hadn't come around until the 70s, late 70s, 80s. I was going to say, so then you think, and you said this before, the idea is to reach the elites, positive message, and get the elites who are really pulling the strings to try and turn things around, maybe some kind of secessionist thing, as opposed to political action.
Okay, I got 2 weeks in a row college professors writing to me. Brother, I've been watching you, and I never did like you. Nah, your and all your hate, but I don't know. You seem to be saying some things that I do agree with. And I don't like the mass immigration. I don't like what's happening, which is going to affect my children, because see, my children are already watching it behind my back at school with this thing about transgenderism. And you say this certain group of people are promoting it. And I tend to agree with you. Okay, they don't want to just say, I flat out agree with you. They can't do that. So, I would encourage you to continue. I would encourage you, they say to me, don't use the G word so much, don't say, whatever, okay. But I see, okay, I write back to them, thank you for writing, and I'm looking for ways to be more strategic with the same message. But I see that these people are now sitting on the fence. They're Democrats, they're leftists, okay? But they don't like what's going on. My dad would hate what's going on. He would not be a Democrat today, but he would certainly not be a Republican. He's not going to be a white bread Gentile. So I can reach these people. You can reach these people. Alex Jones could reach these people, but he gets rid of Joe Regan and Roger Stone. Get rid of these people, these lowlifes. Have intelligent people on like Paul Craig Roberts. Once I do my show, I know Paul Craig Roberts. He knows me. I've written to him. I helped him to come back when he wanted to quit. I'm the one who helped him. I'll interview people like that. I know a lot of people in the Lou Rockwell show, a lot of them. I'll interview people who are intelligent, and we will intelligently reach the left. Because they're the rulers now. I wouldn't necessarily call them the elite, but they're the brains, they're the think tanks, they're the ones, they're not necessarily in finance, but they're the think tanks. And they'll be up in arms if they see this thing continuing, if they finally decide, stop the transgender, get rid of Rachel Levine, get rid of her, okay? Put her somewhere, put her in a mental hospital where she belongs, all right? Him. There's a lot that don't like this, Nick. They don't like it, but because they put a gag in their mouth from censorship. But this is going to stop. The Brother Nathaniel Show is going to present a whole new internet culture where you can say what you want. It's coming. It has to be. Our hour has come.